How you doing there? Woo! Oh my goodness gracious! Wow, Chavar, Mom is literally just finished recording yesterday's stuff. Oh, I'm exhausted. But well, why is my noise canceling headphones feel kind of funny? But I'm only just gonna get started on today's stuff, and then I got to run. Shabbos is starting in like 15 minutes. So I'm just going to get started. Hopefully I'll be able to do the first part in 15 minutes. Oh my gosh. This stuff is crazy, but it's awesome. Okay, wait one second. My noise cancelling headphones are weird. Okay, maybe that's better. Alright. Here we go. Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Mem Daf 45, Masechta BavaMetzia. Friends. Okay, so as I just said, I'm just only going to start the Daf. Now I'm going to have to pick up probably on Sunday. Oh my gosh. And do tomorrow's. Dude, it's a whole mission to keep up over here with BavaMetzia. It's been a mission to keep up since Babylon Talmud, since Bava Kama. My brain is complete mush. Complete mush. Okay, here we go. What are we talking about? I can't remember, really. My brain is complete mush. We're talking about Paris and Ma'os and Kesef and Zov. At the end of the daf, we're then going to get into Chalifin, which is awesome, but I'm obviously not going to be getting into that today, but it'll be on this daf. It'll be in the same recording. Okay. Fine. Where are we? We're going to start in Daf Mem Daled Amud Beis, about 15 lines or so from the bottom, where we left off yesterday, obviously. Tananasim. We learned in a Mishnah in Meiser Sheni. Beishamai Om says, Beishamai lo yaise Odom sloin dinrei zov. Okay. Interesting. This section, I guess, it's kind of like an amud. It's like the size of an amud. Oh gosh, I only have like 10 minutes. Whatever, I'll figure it out. It makes no difference. Okay. Tanana, this stuff is dense, huh? Tanana, some Beishamai Omrim lo yaisa adam sloin din rezov. Okay. If a person had Meiser Sheni, right? Of course, Meiser Sheni, you have your produce and stuff, and you separate Truma, you separate Meiser Rishon, then you separate Meiser Sheni. Meiser Sheni needs to be schlepped to Yerushalayim and eaten in Yerushalayim. Now, if you don't want to schlep all these produce to Yerushalayim, you can transfer the value onto money and bring the money instead. Now, what we're talking about is where you transferred the value of the produce onto silver coins, and now you want to transfer it onto gold coins to consolidate, right? If it's 25 silver coins and one gold coin, so why not consolidate and there'll be less to schlep? Okay. So tonight also was talking Meiser Sheni. Beishamai says Beishamai lo yaisa adam sloin din rezov. If he had been poda is Meiser Sheni with silver coins, he should then not consolidate and transfer the value of the silver coins onto gold coins. Beisil matirin. Beisil says gzunta eight. No problem. You can sort of consolidate the silver coins into gold coins. That is Beis Hillel's opinion. Rabbi Yechanan v'Rish Lakish, we have machlokes Rabbi Yechanan v'Rish Lakish. Chad Omar machlokes beslaim al dinarin. One opinion between Rabbi Yechanan and Rish Lakish, one of their opinion is that this machlokes between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, who says, right, Beis Shammai say that the silver cannot be transferred onto gold. Beis Hillel says the silver can be transferred to gold. That machlokes is specifically between silver and gold. Can you transfer the silver onto gold? The Beis Shammai saber, the Beis Shammai hold kaspa tiva v'daiva peira. That Beis Shammai say that the silver is considered the currency, and the gold relative to the silver is considered Paris. V'tiva apere lo michalinon, and you can't transfer the value, you can't transfer the Meiser Sheni value of currency onto fruits. Therefore, it's not allowed. Ubeis Hillel savre, whereas Beis Hillel hold kaspa pera v'daiva tiva, that the gold would be considered currency relative to the silver, but the gold would be considered, which is more valuable, would be considered the currency relative to the less valuable silver. Ufeira ativa michalelinon, and you can be mechalel the fruits, the kesef in this case, onto gold. Aval peris al dinarin divrei hakol mechalelinon. But everyone would agree that you can be mechalel the fruit, the initial fruits, the meiser sheni itself, onto gold, right? Meaning, so according to this view, whether it's Rabbi Yochanan, whether it's Rish Lakish, we don't know yet, but according to this view, the machlokas between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel is specifically once you have already been mechalel the actual meiser sheni onto kesef, can you then be mechalel the kesef, right? Can you then transfer the kesef onto gold? Beis Shammai says no, because the gold would be considered peiros relative to the kesef. And Beis Hillel says yes, because the gold would be considered ma'os relative to the kesef. But everyone agrees, however, that if you have meiser sheni, like actual produce, and that you want to be mechalel, everyone would agree you can be mechalel onto gold. Because even Beis Shammai, who say that you can't consolidate the silver into gold, that's only gold relative to silver. But gold relative to fruits would be considered currency, just like Beis Hillel, who say that silver relative to gold would be considered fruits, would be considered peiros, and yet obviously Beis Hillel had no problem with being poda the meiser sheni itself onto silver, right? Because we're talking about where the meiser sheni was already poda onto silver. So both Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel obviously agree that you can be poda the meiser sheni itself onto silver, and Beis Hillel says that the silver can then be transferred onto gold because silver relative to gold is considered peiros. But even so, you could still transfer the meiser sheni onto peiros. So therefore, we would say that everyone agrees also that the meiser sheni itself. Wait, what? You could still be poda the meiser sheni onto according to Beis Hillel, you could still be poda the meiser sheni onto silver, even though the silver is considered peiros relative to the gold. So therefore, everybody would also agree that meiser sheni could be mechalel directly onto gold, even according to Beis Shammai, because Beis Shammai says that gold is only considered peiros relative to silver, but relative to the meiser sheni would be considered kesef, right? My taima, how come we say that everyone agrees that you can be mechalel meiser sheni directly onto gold? Because midi dehava a kesef libeis hillel, right? As I just explained, hope maybe this will explain clearer because my brain might be mush, and I hope I didn't confuse things. So just like Beis Hillel, who says that kesef relative to zov is considered peiros, and yet they say that you can be mechalel meiser sheni onto kesef. So kesef Beis Hillel afagav dechaspa legabe daiva peirave, that even though silver relative to gold they say would be considered peiros, nonetheless legabe peira tiva have. Nonetheless, though, everyone agrees that you could be poda the meiser sheni onto silver. So even though the silver relative to the gold is peiros, but you could still be mechalel onto the silver. So zov nami lebeis Shammai. So also the gold, according to Beis Shammai, avagav the daiva legabe kaspa peirave. Even though Beis Shammai says that the gold would be considered peiros relative to the silver, nonetheless legabe peira, but relative to the actual fruits of meiser sheni, tiva have, the gold would be considered money. So everybody agrees, Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel agree, that the meiser sheni itself will be able to be poda mechalel onto zov. Okay, fine. V'chadamar, the other view is that af bepeiros al dinar in machlokas, that no, the machlokas is also with regard to can you be mechalel the meiser sheni itself onto gold? That the other view would say that Beis Shammai argues there as well and says that meiser sheni itself cannot be transferred, be mechalel onto gold, because gold is considered peiros, it's not considered currency. Now, if you're going to say, according to the opinion who says that the machlokas Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, oh no. I think I still have 5 minutes. So, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to get through this stuff? It's a struggle to keep up. Mamish a struggle to keep up. Now, according to the opinion who says that the machlokas is also with regard to the Meiser Sheni being mischal, the Meiser Sheni itself onto gold. Well then, if that's the case, then why is the machlokas between Beis Shammai and Basil about silver onto gold? Say that the machlokas is by the Meiser Sheni itself onto gold, right? So Lamada Omer Peiros al Dinar and machlokas. So according to the opinion who says that the machlokas between Beis Shammai and Basil is also, but can you even transfer the Michal Meiser Sheni onto gold? So Adamiflagi Bislayin al Dinarin, why is the machlokas between Beis Shammai and Basil about can you transfer silver onto gold? Liflog Bepeiros al Dinarin. The machlokas should be about can you actually even transfer the Meiser Sheni itself onto gold? That Beis Shammai would say no. So they say, good question, but there's a reason why the machlokas is by silver and gold, because if lig beperis al dinarin, because if that were the case, that the machlokas were specifically by, can you transfer the Meiser Sheni onto gold, that Beis Shammai says no, and Beis Hillel says yes, well then I might think, Hava Amina, Hanamili beperis al dinarin, okay, so the machlokas then between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel is only by Peris al dinarin, aval bislayin al dinarin. But then what about if it's been mechal onto silver, and now you want to transfer the silver onto gold? Then what? Maybe then modu lehen Beis Hillel leVeis Shammai. Maybe then Beis Hillel would agree with Beis Shammai the daiv legabi chas beperi ave, that gold relative to silver would be considered Peris. And Beis Hillel maybe would say that you cannot transfer the silver onto gold because gold would be considered Paris relative to the silver. Kamash Malan, and therefore, by having the machlokas between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel by silver to gold, we see that Beis Hillel says that also by silver to gold, you can transfer silver onto gold as well. Okay. Fine. So we saw that, so we saw machlokas between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel regarding if you transferred Meiser Sheni onto silver, and now you want to transfer that silver onto gold. Beis Shammai says you can't do it, Beis Hillel says you can do it. And we say that we have machlokas between Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish about is that machlokas only by gold, transferring silver, right, consolidating silver into gold, or is it even by being mechal Meiser Sheni onto gold directly? So now, Tistayim de Rabbi Yochanan u de Omar ein mechalin. So let us conclude that Rabbi Yochanan is the one who says ein mechalin. That Rabbi Yochanan is the one who says that the machlokas is even by Meiser Sheni onto gold directly. That Beis Shammai would say that you cannot be mechalel Meiser Sheni onto gold because it's considered Paris, according to Beis Shammai. So it's time to Rabbi Yochanan the Amar ein mechalin. The Amar Rabbi Yochanan, because Rabbi Yochanan says Osir lilvos dinar b'dinar, because Rabbi Yochanan says you cannot loan, let's say 5 dinars, and expect to get back 5 dinars. Just like you can't loan a sa'ah of wheat and expect to get back a sa'ah of wheat because the value could fluctuate. So the same thing with dinars. Dinar demai. Now, which dinars are we talking about? Ilim dinar shel kesef, b'dinar shel kesef. If it enters your mind that we're talking about silver dinars, well, that's preposterous. L'gabi navshe mi'ikal mando omar lav tiva ave. There's no opinion that says that silver coins relative to themselves are not kesef. Everyone agrees that if you lend 5 silver dinars, you can say, pay me back 5 silver dinars. Everybody would agree that. Elepshita dinar shel zav, b'dinar shel zav. So rather, it must be that Rabbi Yochanan is saying that also lilvos dinar b'dinar means a golden, right? You can't lend 5 golden dinars and say, pay me back 5 golden dinars. Okay. Ulaman, and according to Ile Beis Hillel, ha'amri tiva ave. Now, obviously, that can't be according to Beis Hillel because Beis Hillel says that the gold would be considered currency. So Elalav, the Beis Shammai must be that it's according to Beis Shammai, and we're saying that even relative to itself, gold is considered Paris. So then, Vishmamina, Rabbi Yochanan Nida Amar ein mechalalinon, and therefore it must be that it's Rabbi Yochanan who's saying that you cannot be mechalal the Meiser Sheni onto gold because gold is considered Paris. It's not considered Maos. Lo, we say no. Le'olam emalach. Really, I will say to you, Rabbi Yochanan Nida Amar mechalalinon. That really Rabbi Yochanan is the one who says that everyone agrees that you can be mechalal Meiser Sheni onto gold. Both Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel agree you could be mechalal Meiser Sheni directly onto gold. Okay, so what's pshat with when Rabbi Yochanan says that you cannot lend gold and expect to get back gold? V'shayni alvoya, loans are different. Loans are different because came to linin mekach umimkar shavir rabban kiper. Because since in our Mishnah, right, we said hazov kone es hakesef, that zov is considered the Paris, is considered Paris. So since the rabbis considered zov to be Paris, daminan iu niu do okir vizil. So we say that the gold fluctuates in value. Legabe alva nami perahavi. So also with regard to a loan, gold would be considered Paris, and you can't say I'm going to lend you 5 gold coins and pay me back 5 gold coins because they would be considered Paris. But by Meiser Sheni, that is not the case, and you can be po the Meiser Sheni onto gold according to everybody. Rabbi Yochanan would say specifically by Mekach Memkar is when gold would be considered Paris, but not by Meiser Sheni. This also makes sense to say that it's Rabbi Yochanan who says that everybody would agree that it could be Mechal Meiser Sheni onto gold. Also Ravin Amar Rabbi Yochanan, because when Ravin came, he said the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Afal Pisha Amru, even though they said Osir Lilvos, dinar bedinar, that you cannot lend a dinar bedinar, but Aval Mechalin Meiser Sheni Olav, but you can be Mechal Meiser Sheni on a golden dinar. So Shmamina. So there you see that Rabbi Yochanan would say that everyone would agree that you can be Mechal Meiser Sheni onto a golden onto golden dinars. Tashma Kamriya Porit Sela Mimaos Meiser Sheni. So if you were Mechalel your Meiser Sheni onto copper coins, you're Mechal your Meiser Sheni onto copper coins. And now you want to consolidate your copper coins into silver coins. So Aporit Sela Mimaos Meiser Sheni. So Beis Shammai Omrim Bechol Asela Mo. So Beis Shammai says, okay, Beseder. So you can transfer all of your copper coins into silver coins, consolidate them, so you have less to schlep. Beis Hillel Omrim B'shekel Kesef B'shekel Mos. Beis Hillel says half of it you can consolidate and switch for silver coins, but keep half of it in copper coins, because when you get to Yerushalayim, you're gonna need you're gonna have to get change. You're gonna have to get copper coins because you're gonna have to buy food. There's gonna be stuff you're gonna have to buy immediately. Therefore, keep copper coins for yourself. He was also concerned that if everybody's gonna consolidate all their copper coins into silver coins, there's gonna be a shortage of copper coins in Yerushalayim when they get there, which means that then prices will go up and people would have less money to spend on Meiser Sheni. Okay, whatever. But so Beis Hillel says keep half of the copper coins and only consolidate the other half. So now, but what do we see? So what's evident from that Mishnah? What's evident from that Mishnah? What's evident is that clearly you could be Mechalel Meiser Sheni onto copper. Because we're talking about if you're Mechalel your Meiser Sheni onto copper, can you then consolidate that? So everyone says, right, both Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel are talking about a scenario where you Mechalel your Meiser Sheni onto copper. So clearly both Beis Hillel and Beis Shammai agree that you can be Mechalel your Meiser Sheni onto copper. So the Gemara says, well, if that's the case, isn't it a no-brainer that if you can be Mechalel Meiser Sheni onto copper, obviously they would both then hold they can Mechalel Meiser Sheni onto gold, and it's a kasha on. It seems like we've concluded that it's Rish Lakish who says that that Beis Shammai would say that you cannot be Mechal Meiser Sheni onto gold. Hashal Beis Shammai legabe prite Mechal linon. If Beis Shammai seems to accept that you can be Mechal Meiser Sheni onto copper, legabe daiva mibaya, is it any question? Obviously, Beis Shammai would say that you can be Mechal Meiser Sheni onto gold. So how could Rish Lakish say that Beis Shammai would argue by gold as well? The answer is Shani Prite Ba'asir D'Sagin Charife, that no, actually, I can make the argument that copper is a more likely candidate than gold, because in the places where copper is used as currency, it is used all over the show. It's used even more than silver or anything else. So therefore, it could actually make sense that, sure, Beis Shammai agrees that you could be Mechal Meiser Sheni onto copper, but not necessarily onto gold. Chaver, I have to stop here because it's already like basically Shabbos, and I'm going to have to pick up it from here on Sunday. My oh my. Okay, I'm back. Lishna Achrina. Alright, hopefully I remember what this is talking about. Lishna Achrina, another way to say, right, so we have Machlok, okay, right. So we have Machlok between Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish, is that correct? About oh no, well, Beisham, what? Wait, what are we talking about again? I feel like I gotta back up. Right. Oh, okay, right. So be'etzem, there's machlokes between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel about right. When it comes to Meiser Sheni, and you've been mechal your Meiser Sheni onto kesef, onto silver, okay? And the shaila is, can you then be mechal from the silver onto gold? Beis Shammai says no. Beis Hillel says yes. Now, there's machlokas between Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish about is the machlokas specifically by silver and gold, or maybe it's even also, right, meaning one opinion is that the machlokas is davka by silver and gold, but to be mechal Meiser Sheni directly onto gold would be, everybody agrees that would be acceptable. Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel agree that would be acceptable. The other way to understand it is that no, the machlokas is oichet by can you even be mechal Meiser Sheni directly onto gold? Beis Shammai would say no, Beis Hillel would say yes. So now, so it says, so lishna achrina, so another way to understand this machlokes, Amrila, Rabbi Yochanan v'Rish Lakish, okay, machlokes Rabbi Yochanan v'Rish Lakish, chad omer machlokes b'slayin al dinorin, okay, so one view is that the machlokes is davka, can you be mechalel further the silver on to gold? The Beis Shammai Savri hakesef rishin v'lo kesef sheni. It says hakesef. It says by Meiser Sheni v'tzarta hakesef biyodecho, that you'll take the silver in your hand, biyodcha, in your hand. So kesef rishon. So davka, the first level of kesef that you put onto, v'lo kesef sheni. You can't further be pode the kesef Meiser Sheni. Okay, that once you are podet Meiser Sheni produce onto money, done. You only have one shot. You can't further be podet onto other money. Beis Hillel Savri kesef riba. That Beis Hillel says, look, it says, if you look at the pasuk, it says kesef multiple times. It says v'nasata ba'kesef v'tzarta hakesef biyodcho. It could just say v'nasata ba'kesef v'tzarta biyodcho. Why does it say hakesef multiple times? To include that you can even be poded multiple times. You can be mechal Meiser Sheni onto money, and then further be mechal onto other money. Va'afilu kesef sheni, even a second layer of money. Aval peris al dinarin, but to be mechal Meiser Sheni directly onto golden coins, well, that's only one level deep. So of course, everyone would agree that Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel would both agree in this view that you can be mechal Meiser Sheni directly onto gold, because as long as it's sort of just the the initial pigeon, so it could be silver, gold, makes no difference as long as it's just one pigeon. Okay, and the other opinion is that the machlokas is even can you be mechalel the Meiser Sheni directly onto gold, Beis Shammai would say no, Beis Hillel would say yes. But for the Gemara, if this is correct, that this machlokas is specifically when it comes to being podeh silver onto gold, but everyone would agree when it comes to Meiser Sheni directly onto gold, it would work because it's the 2 levels deep versus 1 level deep. So if it's all about 2 levels deep versus 1 level deep, so then why are we pointing out that you were podeh the Meiser Sheni onto silver? Now you want to be podeh further onto gold. But if it's about 2 levels deep versus 1 level deep, not necessarily about gold versus silver, well then liflige b'sloyin al sloyin. Well then say, even if you want to be further if you want to transfer the Meiser Sheni Kedusha from these silver coins to other silver coins, it's still, right, it would not be acceptable because it's 2 layers deep. And it has nothing to do with gold versus silver. It has to do with 1 layer versus 2 layers. But if you were to do that, if you would say that the machlokas is 2 layers versus 1 layer, right? So Beis Shammai says sloyin further onto sloyim does not work, and Beis Hillel says it does work. Well, then you might think that Beis Hillel says havamina hanimila b'sloyin al sloyin, that when Beis Hillel says that you can go 2 layers deep, it's davka transferring from silver onto silver. Aval b'sloyin al dinarin, but silver onto gold, modu Beis Shammai, I would say that Beis Hillel then would agree with Beis Shammai, that gold relative to silver would be considered fruits rather than money, and I would say that Beis Hillel would say that you cannot be mechal from silver onto gold, kamash malon. Therefore, the machlokes is between silver, specifically by silver onto gold, to teach that Beis Hillel who say that you can be podeh 2 levels deep, it's even from silver onto gold. Okay. Now, fact Gemara, Toshma, come in here. Haporit selash Meiser Sheni b'Yerushalayim. Okay, so if you come to Yerushalayim and you have silver coins, you report your Meiser Sheni at home onto silver coins, you bring those silver coins to Yerushalayim, and now you have to spend them. Now, silver coins are a large denomination. Is that a word? I feel like maybe not, but like a coin, maybe it is. I'm not exactly sure, but like silver is in order to practically speaking to buy stuff. You're gonna have to break that down into bronze, into copper coins, which are worth less, and you can actually buy stuff with. Right? It's like having $100 bills versus $10 bills or $1 bills. The others, I mean, honestly, I don't really use cash anymore, so I don't even know what's normal. And I also haven't been in America spending US dollars in cash for a very long time, so I don't even know what is what anymore. But the point is, silver coins are like larger denomination. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like it does, but I also feel like it doesn't, but I also feel like it does. So you want to break that down to spend it. So Beis Shammai says, okay, so break it all down into copper coins, no problem, and so you could spend it. Beis Hillel says, you should break up half of it onto coin, onto the copper, so that you can spend it. But Beis Hillel advises to keep the other half in silver coins, just in case you don't end up spending it. You'll be stuck with these copper coins, and you'll have to schlep them back, and or you might change them back. It might. And then if everyone's changing all their coins, they might run out of copper coins. So Beis Hillel says, look, start out by converting half of the silver coins, and then you can, as necessity dictates, keep on converting more. But what do we see? We see, though, that both Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel do seem to be on the same page, that it's okay to transfer the Kedushas Meiser Sheni from the silver onto copper, right? What does Beis Shammai say? Beis Shammai says, if you're Mechalo Meiser Sheni onto silver, and you bring that silver to Yerushalayim, then transfer the Meiser Sheni from the silver onto copper so you could spend it on food in Yerushalayim. So clearly, Beis Shammai seems to be okay with converting, with transferring the Meiser Sheni Kedusha from silver onto copper. So 2 levels deep seems to be acceptable to them. Right? So Hasha Kaspa Ligabe Prite Mechalinon Velo Aminon Kesef Rishav Velo Kesef Sheni. And we're not concerned about, 1 level deep, 2 levels deep. Ligabe Daiva Dechoshev Mine. So then, coming back to gold, which is more valuable than copper. Where am I? Mi Aminon Kesef Rishon Velo Kesef Sheni. So why? So that wouldn't make any sense. Say Kesef Rishon Velo Kesef Sheni, right? Meaning, if Beis Shammai seems to have no problem with transferring silver onto copper, which is a less valuable coin, well then certainly Beis Shammai would have no problem transferring silver onto gold, which is a more valuable coin. So why are we saying that no, there's a problem, you can't go 2 levels deep? 2 levels deep seems to be completely fine. Where am I? Where am I? To which Rava says, no, people, don't get carried away. Don't get carried away. We're talking about Yerushalayim, that when you get to Yerushalayim with the silver coins and you want to transfer them onto copper coins, that's going to be completely fine. Everybody would agree that that's okay. The pasuk says that when you get to Yerushalayim, you're going to have to be able to buy things. And you can't buy things with silver coins, which are too large. So you have to break them down in order to buy things. So therefore, it's going to be okay. But back at home, I would say you would not be able to go 2 levels deep. Tashma, coming here. Haporit sela mimaos meiser sheni. So somebody who's on his way to Yerushalayim, somebody who's going to Yerushalayim, and he's got all these silver coins. Oh, this is what we saw earlier, right? Somebody who's on his way to Yerushalayim, and he's got all these copper coins. And he wants to consolidate the copper coins into silver coins, so that it's less to schlep. Beis Shammai says, okay, transfer all the copper, convert all the copper coins to silver coins, no problem. Beis Hillel says, no, convert half of them into silver, but the other keep as copper. So we see that Beis Shammai clearly has no problem transferring Meiser Sheni onto copper and then onto silver. So the whole 2 layers deep thing doesn't seem to be an issue for Beis Shammai. No, both Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel agree you can go 2 levels deep. There's no problem with that. Vafilu kesef sheni, you can go 2 levels deep. Eli itmar Reb Yochanan, Reb Shimon ben Lakish, hachi itmar. Rather, the machlokas between Reb Yochanan and Rish Lakish is the following: Chad over machlokas besloyin al dinarin. That so, according to one opinion, the machlokas is by can you convert specifically silver coins onto gold coins? The Beis Shammai saver gazrinon shema yashe aliyosov. That Beis Shammai says no, you can't transfer the silver onto gold, because we're concerned, specifically by silver and gold, that let's say so let's say it's 25 silver coins for 1 gold coin. We're concerned that what if you only have 20 coins? And you say, I don't want to schlep 20 silver coins. Maybe let me wait till next year, till I have more Meiser Sheni, and I'll transfer, and then I'll be machal more of it, and then maybe I'll be able to convert them better into golden coins, and I'll have less to schlep. But right now, I don't want to schlep 20 coins, and we're concerned, therefore, that he's going to, leave it from year to year in the interest of trying to consolidate. Because sometimes you won't have enough silver coins to consolidate into 1 gold coin. So he's going to end up just simply not taking them to Yerushalayim, and we don't want that. Beis Hillel says, it's not such a concern. The chilomalu nami bidinra asuke masik liru. Beis Hillel says, look, even if it's only 20 silver coins, they're not gonna. It's not gonna stop them from bringing them to Yerushalayim, right? Because they're not gonna say, well, I can't consolidate it into 1 gold coin, so I'm not bringing it all. They're not gonna say that. Therefore, it's not a concern, and therefore you can transfer silver onto gold, and we're not concerned about scenarios where you don't have enough silver coins. Aval beperis al dinarin tivakol mechalalinon. But everyone would agree that can you convert Meiser Sheni directly onto gold? Why not? The issue is transferring from silver to gold. But Meiser Sheni directly onto gold, who cares? What's the big problem? Because even Beis Shammai would say that, you're not going to say, well, I don't have enough fruits in order to be a full dinar, so I'm not going to be part of them at all. No, you're not going to do that because fruits are going to go bad. So you're obviously not going to make them wait. Fine. So V'chad Omar Afilu b'Peiros al Dinar Nami Machlokes, that even by Peiros al Dinarin there is still Meiser Sheni directly onto gold. The other opinion would be that there's also Machlokes in Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel. There Beis Shammai says no, Beis Hillel says yes. Fine. Okay, Givaldim. So now we gave a few reasons to explain the Machlokes. The first reason, if I could remember from 2 days ago, was, I think, is gold considered fruit or money relative to the silver? I think that's what it was. And if it's considered fruit, then you're not allowed to do that, right? It's an isser, meaning midoraisa, it wouldn't be allowed. You can't convert the money onto fruits, or the Meiser Sheni onto fruits. The other way that we did it was that's a Gezeres HaKosov, right? 2 levels deep versus 1 level deep. And then the third way to explain it was, it's a Gezeres D'Rabbanan that that Beis Shammai is concerned that maybe we'll end up leaving them from 1 year to the next. So the first ways that we explained it was Mida Oraisa, and the third one was Mida Rabbanon. So Bishlam Lachishna Da'amai to Mida Oraisa Mishra Ashariv Rabbanon Hu Degazu Bey. So I understand, according to the way that we just explained it now, that the reason that the machlokas between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel is about a gezerah d'Rabbanan. Do the Rabbanon make a gezerah that we don't want you to convert it from silver to gold, because then you might take it from 1 year to the next. Hanu dekatoni yaise velo yaise. That's why if we look back at the Mishnah at the beginning of the daf, right? A person should not make the silver coins into consolidate them into gold coins. But if you say that it's a machlokas of is it allowed or isn't it allowed midoraisa michalin v'lo michalin miboile, well then it shouldn't say yaise or not yaise. It should be michalin or not michalin. Meaning, are you allowed to be michal? If you do it, is it a kosher pidyon? So it should be right michalin or not michalin, not do it or don't do it. Do it or don't do it means it's either way would midoraisa work, but we're saying do it or don't do it. The Beis Shammai says don't do it because it's Gezeres D'Rabbanan. Beis Hillel says you can do it, it's fine. But everyone agrees that it would midoraisa be kosher. But if you say that the machlokes in Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel is about does it bichlal work midoraisa or midorabanan, then it should be michalinon. You're allowed to do it; it would be kosher. Lo michalin, you're not allowed to do it; it wouldn't be kosher, right? It would be whether it's kosher or not kosher, not whether you can do it or whether you can't do it, whether midorabanan we allow you to do it or not, but midoraisa would be kosher. So because it says yaisa and lo yaisa, it sounds like we're talking about din derabanan versus whether or not it's kosher midoraisa. Kasha, it's taka good kasha on those first 2 ways of explaining. So now we move on to an extremely interesting sugya. An extremely interesting sugya. We move on to Kinyan Chalifin. I think it's pretty cool. The reason why I think it's pretty cool is because I feel like I always kind of wondered how this sort of mysterious Kinyan Chalifin works. It does feel kind of mysterious, and as I think I pointed out yesterday, sure, yeah, it came up in Masechta Kiddushin. Yeah, that's where we talk about Kinyanim. Yeah, we've been talking about Kinyanim since Masechta Kiddushin, right? Karka, Metaltalin, different ways, right? Nechasim Sheish Lemachais, Nechasim Shein Lemachais. I couldn't remember if the word was Nechasim or not, whatever. But here we're really getting into the nitty gritty of Kinyan Chalifin, right? I think I pointed out yesterday, I can't remember what's what anymore, because also I'm in the middle of recording the daf, I stopped in the middle. But we're about to sell our chametz, right? The way it works, you go to the rabbi of the shul, in most cases, and you make a Kinyan Chalifin. In my case over here in Achlot, the rabbi, I think he sometimes uses his pen, but he's definitely used his yarmulke in the past, right? He's wearing a hat, and under that he has a yarmulke, takes out his yarmulke, gives it to me, pick up the yarmulke, and now, so I pick up his yarmulke, and he gets my chametz. and then he sells it for me. So, right, so how does that work? You go to chasana, at the chasan's dish, the chasan, it picks up a pen and somehow something happens. How does this exactly work? So we're going to get into it. We're going to be discussing this. But the shaila here, which is interesting, so like what exactly could be used, right? It's so mysterious. Like what's the deal with the pen, right? So you go to sell your chametz, so the rabbi gives you his pen, and you pick up his pen, and he gets your chametz. What's the deal with the pen? What can you use? Can you use anything? Does it have to be worth something? So the shaila now is, can you use money? Can the rabbi give you a few coins, and you pick up the coins, and then now the chametz belongs to him? So how does that work? Can you use money? It's also an interesting shaila also, right? Because like, for example, we go back to the pizza, right? If we go back to the pizza, so we said that when you go to pay for your pizza, so the way it works is that you pick up the pizza, and when you pick up the pizza, now it's yours, and you now have to pay for it. But now you have to pay for it. But what about, is it possible that we could do it this way? Right, so meaning we said that I pick up the pizza, now it's my pizza, now I have to pay for it, and I pay him. What if we did it the other way around? What if I pay first? So we said that if I pay first, even though he picks it up and he owns it, it makes no difference. There's no kinyan at all. Either one of us can renege, technically speaking, right? We said, but if you do it, then the God who punished the Dora Mabon and Dora Flug or whatever, fine. We said that once Zevi the pizza monger picks up the money, nobody, there's not been any kinyan yet. What about kinyan chalifin though? Maybe can we say that when Zevi the pizza monger picks up the money, so he acquires the money and I acquire the pizza, kinyan chalifin. So again, so the shaila is, can money be used for a kinyan chalifin? We can use a pen, we can use a yarmulke. Can you use money? And the interesting nafkamina is, so can we say that when the pizza monger picks up the money, so he acquires the money and I may acquire the pizza. So it's taka machlekes, Rav and Levi, about can money be used as this item for the kinyan chalifin. So itmar Rav and Levi's machlekes, Rav and Levi chad omar matbea naisa chalifin. One opinion is that, yeah, sure, just like you can use a pen, just like you can use a yarmulke, you can use money. And, the pizza monger picks up the money, and now the pizza is mine. He gets the money, I get the pizza. The other opinion is that no, you can use a yarmulke, you can use a pen, you can't use money. You can pay with money, but there's no kinyan chalifin with money. Amar Papa says, Papa, my time demand Omar ein matbei naisa chalifin. What's pshat with the opinion who says that you cannot use money for chalifin? Mishum de daite atsurta. Because when a person picks up money, they're thinking that their intention is on the coin, is on the the coin is minted. It's minted with a particular king or something. Vitzurta avida de batla. But you can be mavatal a coin, right? You have a coin with a certain king on it. That king dies, there's a new king. They invalidate all the previous coins from that king, and they make a new coin. So a coin is something that can inherently become invalidated, as opposed to a yarmulke. Nobody's going to invalidate a yarmulke. It can break, it can get lost, whatever it is, but nobody's going to say, okay, that yarmulke is invalid. It's bottle. Right? But a coin, they could say, okay, it no longer has any value, it's useless now. So therefore, because a coin is something that can become bottle, so therefore it can't be used for chalifin, period. Tanan, we learned in our Mishnah, Hazov koine es akesef. So we said that Zov, that gold, is able to be kone kesef. One second. Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay. So Rashi says Azov dinrei zov da'avle matbeya, right? So our Mishnah had said that somebody walks into the gold shop, and we're talking about gold coins. So the buyer picks up the gold coins, and kone es hakesef. If you want to say what that means, is that when the buyer picks up the gold coins, so memele, his silver coins now belong to the gold monger. So it sounds like matbeya naise chalifin, that these gold coins can be picked up, and now the silver coins belong to the gold monger. So it's not azov koines al kesef, that picking up the gold coins memele makes a kinyan chalifin, so that the gold monger now immediately owns my silver coins that are in my pocket. So my lab chalifin v'shmaminu matbeya naise chalifin. So we see that a coin can be used for chalifin. Lo, no, bidamim. No, it means with Torah's domim, a sale, right? Meaning the purchaser picks up the golden coins, and now he has a chiyuv, he has a schayvus to pay the gold monger silver coins. Then why does the Mishnah say that picking up the gold coins makes a kinyan on the kesef, which sounds like a kinyan chalifin, for the gold monger, that he now owns the silver? Tni mechayev, meaning why does it say kinyan? It should say chiyuv, right? That picking up the gold makes a schayvus to now pay the kesef in a chinami. So tni azov mechayev. So say that gold is mechayev you to have to pay kesef. This taka makes sense that we're talking about it as schayvus midikatani seifa, from the fact that it says hakesef eino kone es azov, because it says that kesef, the silver coins, do not make a kinyan do not make a kinyan on the gold, right? We had said in the Mishnah that if the buyer picks up the gold coins, so he acquires the gold coins, and now the kinyan is finalized, and he now needs to pay the gold monger the silver coins. But we said the opposite is not true. That if he first pays the gold monger silver coins, and the gold monger picks up the silver coins, there is no kinyan yet. Either one can technically still renege. Now, so this makes sense if we're talking about payment, right? I get it. The purchaser picks up the gold. He now acquires the gold. He needs to then pay the silver. The opposite is not true. If he first pays the silver and the gold monger picks up the silver, that is no kinyan. Daiva pera bechaspa tiva. So we're saying be'etzem that the gold is considered the fruits, and the silver is considered the currency. V'tiva pera lo kani, and money doesn't make the kinyan, right? The mishicha on the fruits makes the kinyan. In this case, that's the gold. But if you say that it's a kinyan chalifin, well then tarvayu liknei ahadode. Well, just like then picking up the gold makes a kinyan chalifin for the silver, then I should say fakert as well. That the gold monger picking up the silver, memele, means that the buyer now owns the gold. But we say that it doesn't work that way around, so therefore it must not be a kinyan chalifin. We must be talking about a kinyan damin, a regular purchase. Ve'od and more. So Tanya we learn, and ve'od Tanya we learn in a brayso kesef eino kone es azov, that silver is not kone the gold. Ketzad, how is this? Machar lo esim v'chamisha dinarin shel kesef b'dinar shel zov. Okay, if he's selling 25 silver coins for one golden coin, even though the person who's receiving the silver makes a meshicha on the kesef, lo kono, the person purchasing the gold has not yet, right, there's no kinyan, until the person acquiring the gold makes a kinyan meshicha on the gold. So I understand if we're talking about a sale. Well then, mishum achi lo kani, that is why there is no kinyan, because the zav is the peiris, the kesef is the ma'os, and the kinyan happens when the peiris are, when there's a meshicha on the peiris. Eli amid b'chalifin, but if we're talking about kinyan chalifin, nikne, then when the person receiving the silver picks up the silver, then the person receiving the gold should own the gold. But we don't say that, rather it is elamai. Okay, fine. So elamai b'damim. Okay, but then the Gemara asks, fine, so now you're so sure that we're talking about Torah as damim, as a sort of payment. If that's the case, ema reisha. But then what about the reisha? Azov kone esa kesef, that gold, when Mashiach on the gold is kone kesef. Ketzad, how is this? If he sells one golden dinar for 25 silver dinars, so once he does a kinyan meshicha on the gold, nikne kesef b'chol makom shehu, well then the silver becomes, the sellers, wherever that silver may be. That sounds like a kinyan chalifin to me. That the buyer makes a kinyan meshicha on the buyer makes a meshicha on the gold, and punkt made and at that time the silver now belongs to the goldmonger, wherever that silver might be. That sounds like a kinyan chalifin to me. So if we say kinyan chalifin, that's why it says that the kesef now belongs to the goldmonger, wherever that silver might be. But if we're talking about sort of a payment, what do you mean that the silver belongs to the goldmonger wherever it is? It should say that once the purchaser does a kinyan meshicha on the gold, he now has a chiyuv to pay silver to the goldmonger. What does it mean it automatically belongs to the goldmonger wherever it is? So Rav Ashi la'olam b'damim. Rav Ashi says, hold your horses. We are talking about Torah as damim, payment. What does it mean that it belongs to the goldmonger wherever the silver is? Kimos shehu, as it is. Kida Omar le, that it's as the purchaser says that he's going to do it. If he says I'm going to pay you from a purse of new coins, lo matzi yoav le me'arniki yishana. So you can't pay the goldmonger from old coins. Even though old coins might be better, my time because the goldmonger says, look, I'm looking to save these coins, and therefore the older coins might kind of go, get, decayed or something. So therefore I specifically want the new coins. So b'chol makom shem means in the condition that were agreed upon to be paid. Okay, fine. Very, very interesting stuff, and the Gemara is now going to continue, not now, but yes now, but not now, tomorrow, to discuss this concept of can you use money for this kinyan chalifin. Super interesting stuff. Okay, fine. So that was Daf Memei. We initially were exploring the concept of is zav considered peiris or maos, right? We got into this whole sugya about meiser sheni, bimchal silver, meiser sheni onto gold, machlokes Beis Shammai, Beis Hillel, Rabbi Yochanan, Rish Lakish, and then we started this very interesting sugya about can money be used as a catalyst in a kinyan chalifin, and we're going to continue on this discussion tomorrow. Peace out.